Okay, good game lore, good game lore. Probably my favorite anime phrase. Hello, fellow anime geeks, and welcome to another first impression video in this 2020 spring season, and my never-ending story to try absolutely everything that I can. Today I tried Shachibato, or Shacho Battle no Jikan desu, or President, it's time for battle. As usual, I'll be organizing my thoughts by answering these 4 questions, though a bit out of order today for better narrative continuity, but I hope that these help you decide if this is an anime that's worthwhile for you. The mal tags were action, adventure, and fantasy, and I would wholeheartedly agree that this is a fantasy action adventure. Shachibato is another anime in this season's lineup of game adaptations, so I was a little bit hesitant at first. I already think that those are difficult to translate from game to anime, and there's so many out at once, but I was actually laughing and entertained the whole time. And this is definitely on the funnier side of game adaptations. The gags are funny for sure, but I think there's also a brilliant underlying comedic element. By integrating game elements into the storyline, the audience is forced to confront the hilarity of things that we usually just accept when we're playing a game. Our protagonist wonders why he is selected to run this company over any of its existing members, and in the beginning he's forced to watch a tutorial video on how to be a president of an adventuring company and how the world works. And then when he actually gets to battle, he's absolutely combat useless. So I felt more like I was watching a game parody than a game adaptation. And in this respect, it kind of reminds me of Precon the same season, in that it's doing a really good job in translating game components into a logical working storyline, and in so doing is highlighting the hilarity of a lot of gameplay. There were some fan service shots in there, and some of the character designs had me kind of raising my eyebrow at what some of them were getting away with wearing, but it wasn't enough to make a prude like me turn away, so I think most everyone should be fine. In terms of originality, well, there's not much, but it does have a pretty fun tone. Now, I know that this is obvious because it is actually based on a game, but the setting and the way that the magic system works is much like a game. Now, whenever there's an anime with a magic system and a world like that, and it is not an isekai, I find it refreshingly fun. So I would say this is almost like a cuter, funnier version of Danmachi. This previous season, I had a lot of fun feeling like I was watching a playthrough of a bizarre build in Bofuri, and this seems to have the same sort of lighthearted, fun mood. I also really appreciated that our protagonist seems to have a legitimate, actual backstory, and it's not just being presented to you all at once like in Shironeko Project this same season. It seems to be going through proper exposition in a narrative format. The plotline seems simple enough that we can follow its progression, and also with enough complicated elements that it'll make for an interesting story. First, they have to get their guild or company up and running, and they have to get some experience under their belts, and it's set up such that they will eventually have to tackle these mysterious gates and maybe go looking for or find our protagonist's missing father. Is it worthwhile? Well, for me, that's a yes. I think I've mentioned this before, but I really enjoy fun adventures, especially if they're plot-driven. I'm not a huge fan of cutesy, and this character design and art style is so cute. All characters seem feminine, but this cute art style is also adding to the fun mood, and I'm really enjoying the comedy. So I think if you're looking for a fun fantasy adventure, I think you might like this one. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. What about, like, training? But, like, did they train or anything? Okay, but, like, did they train at all?